What is up, everyone? Welcome to the UnderDog Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Nolan Skeen, alongside Antonio Fiore, Salestrina. Gentlemen, how are we? You guys are always so scared after I do the intro.
No,
Antonio never says anything. Antonio's always dead silent.
I wanted to hold still and fake out that I was maybe frozen, but I couldn't.
Nah, I'd be able to see it in your eyes.
Back.
I'm doing better than Robert Saleh is doing. That's how I'm doing.
No, you're not.
Saleh gets the can, dude.
Yeah, escorted out by security today. I'm
crazy.
Fine.
He was probably pissed. How can you not be pissed?
He definitely screamed at Woody Johnson.
Did Aaron Rodgers do it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because
player
2 and 3.
I think there's just going to be a divide in that locker room now, because the defensive players definitely liked him.
I can see that. At the same time, I think for a week or two, they might be a little, riled up and motivated. So it might work for a short period of time, but for the whole season, it's probably the wrong move. But also, too, going into the season, I didn't think he should have stayed, but
I mean,
not my coach.
I mean, I don't think that there was enough to justify fire. I mean, you could have fired him last year, and you probably could have justified it, but they were so bad that it didn't really matter. And they were so the cards were just dealt the wrong way, so they were just yeah, we'll keep him for next year. But I have a hard time believing that it's him that's the issue.
I can still hear you. I just gotta fix something.
Well, part of the issue is all right, their play calling on offense is really terrible. Lazard drops half the passes that he gets thrown. Mike Williams only plays 20% of the snaps. Breece Hall can't run the ball anymore. They have so many problems offensively that it puts so much pressure on the defense that the defense sits there and has to play perfectly for a majority of the game. And then when you go down 2 touchdowns, you feel like the offense has no chance of getting back in the game.
Why don't they do anything? Why don't they do anything with Breece Hall? Also,
they run up the middle and get 1 yard with him, and then they throw one dump off.
Yeah, and then they just have Braylon Allen in the game for 15 carries straight.
Well, I like Braylon Allen, but at the same time, you don't need, like you said, 15 carries straight of Braylon Allen either. So,
yeah, I mean their offense is horrible, but they're keeping Nathaniel Hackett because he's Aaron Rodgers' boy.
Isn't that on Nathaniel Hackett though? The offense being terrible.
Yes.
I think it's on both. I think it's on both Rodgers and Hackett. I don't think it's just Hackett, to be honest. Because it's not like Rodgers is just all right, well, whatever you want to do. It's Rodgers definitely sets their game plans with them.
I feel like Aaron Rodgers has probably most of the say in terms of anything, because that's how it's been wherever he's been in any coaching staff. He's always had the main say. It's kind of like how LeBron, every time we joke about LeBron, he's the coach. It's Aaron Rodgers runs the team. So if he wants you gone, you're gone.
It's kind of like an NBA locker room when Aaron Rodgers is your leader, but at the same time, I don't know. I feel like this decision was probably supported from a lot of people in the organization. I don't think it was just oh, Rodgers said this, so we're doing this.
Yeah, I think it just got to a point where everyone was sick of him. Maybe most of the locker room was sick of him, and most of the staff was sick of him. So they were just all right, we'll do it, even though they're only 2 and 3, and it's kind of weird.
Well, you don't want the season to get off the rails, because if you lose in Buffalo Monday, you're 2 games out of the division, and you got a lot of ground to make up. And yeah, it's only week 6, but at the same time, it's I don't know. It can go sideways quickly, and if you really think that Saleh was the problem and you want to cut ties with him at this point, then I don't hate the move. So, but like Antonio said, it might cause a divide in the locker room, and it might turn out even worse.
I think it already did. It came out today that all the defensive players were really surprised.
I think a lot of people were probably surprised. I don't think...
I understand that, but shocked maybe is the word I saw.
Yeah, I don't think Robert Saleh thought he was going to get fired today. That's for sure.
Well, also too, I heard this on I haven't watched Colin Cowherd in a while, but randomly I was watching it today, and he was talking about how Woody Johnson's the ambassador to England or some shit. I don't know, and he had people.
I gotta turn on the Mets game.
He had people up in the booth with him that were like his buddies or whatever, and obviously they looked terrible. He definitely got like roasted the whole entire game. It's like, oh, your team sucks, haha. Like, so he probably like heard all the jabs too, and was sitting there and like, oh, I can't let my buddies talk shit about me. Now I gotta blame it on somebody, so I'm gonna fire the coach, type of thing. So
That's such like a billionaire thing. Like,
well, yeah,
an
his
ego
pride was
billionaire.
hurt, so he's like, fine, I'll just fire the guy. Like, make myself feel better.
He was like, yeah, watch this. Watch what I can do. Which is like exactly how I would run the team if I was a billionaire and I owned a team. That's exactly what I would do.
It's like, oh, you're done.
I'd be like, what? You got to, because you got to. I imagine it like if you're actually a football person that owns a team, like if you know football and you're not just like a billionaire that spends all this money and then doesn't, isn't involved at all. You got to run it like a fantasy team. I would literally look at it as like a fantasy team. I'd be like, all right, well,
yeah, drop one guy and then pick him back up like 2 weeks later.
Yeah, they're like looking at the waiver wire, like, yo,
yeah, I call
get Robert Saleh out of there
every 3 weeks and be like, hey, I need you to come back on the team.
And it's like, okay, you give the reins to Nathaniel Hackett. We all saw what happened last time. What do they do moving forward? Do they get Bill?
Well, they're the defensive coordinator, I guess, is the interim. So, but I don't
go with him.
Yeah, I don't think they're hiring anyone until next year full time, as far as I know.
At first, because like I was like glancing at texts, and I thought for a second that they really named Hackett the interim head coach.
Oh, that would have been so bad.
There's no way.
It's just like if things were dysfunctional before, I don't think this fixes anything.
No, it doesn't. I mean, I like him this week because you know how I am with the coach getting fired and the interim coming in. But after this week, it's probably maybe after a couple of weeks, it's nothing. So
I mean, I don't know if they get it back on track, dude. They might, but
the Jets will always just jet. That's just how it's meant to be.
I know, and we fully forgot.
I mean, I was high on them, but I also didn't like really pick them to win the division. I said they're like probably a wild card team, and they're not going to really do much past that. So I still think they could possibly be a wild card team. But
isn't it so funny that like we picked Cincinnati to go to the Super Bowl, and naturally they just
it's the season from hell for the Bengals.
They do it every year.
They're 1-4.
They don't go 1-4 every year.
Their defense couldn't stop me, you, and Nolan out there if we were playing.
Oh.
Yeah. What do you mean? Oh, do you not watch football?
No, I watched football pretty much all day up until the Mets game, and then I watched it after on Sunday. I really thought the Bengals won. I swear to God, I thought the Bengals won. They were up 38-35. Like
they
the last
should.
time
I mean, they should have won.
They were up 38-28, then gave up a touchdown. Then Joe Burrow throws a pick with 2 minutes left. Then they take a field goal, a 50-something yard field goal from Justin Tucker.
Okay.
Then the Ravens start with the ball in overtime, and Lamar Jackson fumbles. You know what the Bengals decide to do? They have the ball at their own 45-yard line, 42-yard line, whatever. You know what their game plan is?
Run the ball.
We're going to kick a 60-yard field goal because that's the best decision. When we've been moving the ball the entire day, we've gotten anything and everything that we've wanted. They can't stop Jamar Chase. They can't stop T. Higgins. They can't stop this offense. No, let's play conservative and try to hit a 55-yard field goal for the win. That sounds like something we should do.
Joe Burrow had 5 touchdowns, for Christ's sakes.
Maybe try to get a first down. I don't know. That sounds crazy, right?
Because today I saw on Colin Cowherd's account that he put out like his top 10 teams, and I was like, why does he have the Ravens at number 3 when they're 2-3? But that's because I thought they lost. But I also don't think they're the third best team in the league.
I don't know. Derrick Henry, they're pretty scary.
I mean, they have 2 really good wins now.
Anywhere. If they had Derrick Henry last year, they would have been the best team in the league. But this year,
I guess they've won 3 in a row, right?
Yeah.
Did they beat the Bills?
And why did they always do this against these good teams, dude? For some reason, against good teams in the regular season, they can score so many points.
I don't know. And then
I
the
hate
playoffs
them,
come, and
dude.
yeah,
So tired of them, dude. I really don't want them to be really good again.
I hate the Ravens, and I
They're
hate
so
the fucking
boring.
Bills, and I hate the Chiefs. Those are the three
You
teams that I
the
hate the most.
Bills?
I hate the Bills so much.
why do you hate the Bills?
Never
They
heard you say
should,
that.
because I hate the Bills more out of a place of they should be a lot better than they are. I hate the Ravens and
Okay.
Chiefs because they're just annoying. But Bills, they should be so. What are you doing, throwing out of your end zone 3 times, and then they get the ball at the 40,
That
and then they
was
kick a
really
field goal to win the
bad.
game? What are
That
you
was really
doing?
bad. Yeah.
That was the worst decision I have ever seen.
I mean, you basically gave him the game.
You gave them the game. They threw it 3 times, dude.
Yeah, play for overtime at that point.
Literally, and then like he punts it, and it was a pretty decent punt, and then he gets like a 15-yard return. They're in field goal range. It's like, what the fuck? What are you doing, dude? So it's just shit like that pisses me off about the Bills.
That Atlanta game was like one of the best games I've watched in quite a while on Thursday.
Told
That
you the
game-
Falcons are the right pick.
But you
That
took
game
the,
was really good.
took the Buccaneers.
Because I don't know what I just hate, dude. Like as soon as I saw that game, I was like, the Falcons are the right pick, but I'm picking the Bucs because I just don't care about the Falcons. It's horrible logic.
That was probably
That's the worst thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
that was probably the
dude,
best
they almost won.
primetime. That was probably
Yeah,
the best
and
game
then-
of the year we've seen so far.
Then Mike Evans has 23 fantasy points by when there's 10 minutes left in the second quarter, and then finishes with like 23.9. Well, he's on my team, so that's why I say that. And that was frustrating because dude was on pace to put up like 45, and then he doesn't even put up 25. You kidding me?
I mean, I was playing
but-
Drake London in both of my leagues, and then
No one
he
you know
decides
who I had. No one you know who I had this week?
who.
Tucker Kraft,
Nice.
and he won me my game.
Andrew, when you're listening to this, fuck you, you little whore. I beat you with Tucker Kraft too, you little bitch.
I know, and I'm happy that I still would have lost if I started a running back in place of Joe Mixon.
Joe Namath.
Yeah, because I was like,
Almost said Joe Namath.
dude, I swear to God, if Najee Harris has,
He almost gave up his cover that he's 70 years old. He almost fucked up, dude.
Why?
You're so old, bro. You're so old. You're elderly.
Why did I almost give up my cover? What I do?
Who just randomly says Joe Namath? Like,
Oh,
you literally.
I did. Was I gonna say his name?
You went Joe Nixon.
Nixon?
Oh,
Trot Nixon?
you were.
Wow. Trot Nixon, Sal.
Keep going. Just keep going. Keep going.
You flustered Sal with that. That flustered me too. We had another good Sunday night game.
Richard Nixon.
Yes, we had another good
Bill
Sunday night
Nixon.
game.
Yeah, Sunday night game was actually pretty good.
Second touchdown.
Past the hour, 10-minute lightning delay, whatever the hell it was.
That was bullshit, dude. It's so dumb. I was like, why is it an hour and a half?
They just want people to get more bets in. They're like, come on, you want to bet the game.
Yeah, they're like, you want to bet the Steelers. You want to bet Steelers money line.
Honestly, the Steelers, not easily, but like if you get a block kick and 3 turnovers, you need to win that game. Like, how do you not win that game at that point?
That was
Dak looked horrible.
They're another one that's like
yeah, they're weird. I have no idea I don't know what their deal is.
they just seem to not be able to figure it out. Like just like any sort of game plan. They look like they're going into the game with no game plan at all. They look like how I would coach a game.
Coach.
I'll give it to them. If they lose that game, their season is just completely train wrecked. So like getting that last drive and scoring the touchdown, it's like, all right, well at least you pulled it out. But
they have a saving grace at least. Like they have a little bit of hope.
They're above 500 right now. They're one. I was just saying they're leading the division. Washington Commanders are leading that division.
Jesus.
Is it gonna be? Hold on. Is it going to be a Commanders-Ravens Super Bowl? The two running quarterbacks. And
Hey,
the
are you
two
able
teams,
to mute him? Like, is that an option?
listen, and Baltimore and Washington,
We should
D.C.
put a shock
are
collar
right
on
next
him.
to each other. So it'll be a big deal.
Could I put a shock collar on you? And anytime you say some
The world
crazy shit?
would literally end before the Super
Get that?
Bowl.
You
is
see
the
that video of
Ravens
that guy? Like, there's like memes where it's like me before I drafted my fantasy team, and it's that guy with like his wires hooked up to like a headband around his head, and he goes, "All right, I'm about to make myself retarded."
Yeah. After I'm done drafting.
So I mean, is Washington a Super Bowl caliber team?
No.
Honestly, they're the most.
Dan Quinn.
They're one of the most put together teams in the NFL right now.
Cliff Kingsbury OC, like they're a decent team, dude. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not sitting here peddling. I'm not sitting here peddling Super Bowl by any means, but they're gonna be a playoff team.
Oh, they're gonna be a playoff team.
So,
And the NFC is kind of horrible. So,
because you could even argue that like the Chiefs could easily be like 2-3 right now. With some of the games that they've played, like I think before tonight, they had 4 wins and within a touchdown. So like it's, God damn it, dude.
that was the most disgusting muted cough I've ever not heard in my life.
And yeah, the Chiefs, dude. Again, they probably. I mean, this is just me because I hate the Chiefs, but like, I think Chris Olave lost that game for the Saints last night. Before the
He had like
Saints,
2 targets.
No, before the Saints went up, I think it was still. It might have been 13-20 to 20 still, but he gets that illegal motion because he's not set, and they converted on the 3rd down. It was like 3rd and 7, and they were driving.
And then they got sacked. Yeah.
And I was like,
I don't know.
Are you dumb?
Yeah.
Did you see that play?
I didn't watch any of that game because I was watching the Yankees, and then I went to sleep.
Chris Olave motions. Chris Olave motions out to the left, and like is like bouncing on his toes, and then they snap the ball. Like he's like bouncing on his toes, like looking to run, and doesn't get set. And it was a 3rd and 7, and they converted on the play, but then the flag took it back, and then they got sacked. And I was like,
nice.
I was like, what the fuck was that? I was like, do you not know football?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Do you not know the rule? But yeah, who knows if they would have ended up winning, but they definitely had a shot to tie it on that drive. But
remember at the beginning of the year when we were like, wow, the Saints are going to be kind of good this year? No.
I mean, the way they lit the first 2 games, anyone would have said that, I guess.
I know.
Yeah, no, true. I don't know. What else? Last week was what it was. Like, I feel like there's not much to talk about other than what we've talked about.
Where does Davante Adams end up?
Oh, yeah.
They're probably just going to keep him, to be honest.
I haven't heard much about that in the last couple of days, honestly. Like, since the request happened, I don't know. Maybe I just don't watch as much ESPN.
They have until November or something, the beginning of November.
I don't know. I listen to a lot of like New York radio too, and the Jets fans are like, I don't really care if we get them, and I don't really think we're gonna get them.
If I'm any team, I want Davante Adams, and I don't think the Raiders are gonna keep him. The way the Raiders look at it is like, if we can sell this guy and get some good value for him right now, like we can continue with this rebuild, because obviously the Jimmy Garoppolo Davante Adams thing didn't work, so we need to pivot. This is a good start.
The Packers?
Why do they need him? Their receivers are fine.
Yeah, but to have a guy. Wait.
He goes to the Commanders?
Detroit?
Him and Amon-Ra, that'd be pretty sick. That'd be a pretty sick tandem. I don't know if you would,
I
though.
don't hate it.
Like, it could end up being a team that's like already really good that just like adds a piece.
How about Houston, and then they have 4 Devo wide receivers that all need the ball at once?
Jesus Christ, dude.
Well, Nico Collins got hurt. How long is he out for? Like any?
All right, hold on. That's something I actually do want to talk about. This motherfucker's over/under yards was 78.5.
What was the touchdown? Like
He
75.
It was like 68 or something. He
Oh my
had
God.
78 yards on the dot. Goes out of the game, looks perfectly fine. Goes to the sideline, goes like this, salutes the sideline. Goes into the medical tent. You do not see him for the rest of the game. Like,
I do remember.
what?
I do remember
What?
watching that. He was like talking to somebody, and it like kind of looked. His body language was like, "Oh yeah, I'll be back."
What
Like,
happened?
His hamstring.
I think he like pulled his
How long is he out
hamstring.
for?
He's questionable this week. Like,
Yeah, if he
Still
doesn't
not
play
a
this
big
week, he'll definitely be back the week after. But definitely,
he's not
was
playing
funny.
this week. I'll finally bring
he's
back
not.
Tank Dell. No, he's not. What?
As in, that's good for me. So, did you just go like this?
Your team sucks. What are you talking about? Your team's horrible.
Oh, it's really good. Don't we have the same record?
No, I'm 3-2.
Wow, that's so much better than 2 and 3.
It is because I kicked your ass.
It's
last
better.
week.
But what do you
Yeah.
mean? In the 8-man or the 12-man?
Yeah, we're 1-1 on the season, buddy.
Oh, okay.
I'm 3-2 in both leagues.
That,
then you're 2 and
Were
3
you
in
like
both leagues.
hibernating
I
all
am.
weekend?
me?
Anytime you weren't watching playoff baseball, were you just sleeping?
I don't remember anything that wasn't playoff baseball, actually, so probably.
So what is this guy? What is this guy?
I
What is?
don't.
What
a
are you?
70-year-old man.
What
Wait,
are
Show
you?
me the Joe. Show me the Joe Namath poster in your room.
I went to at my mom's house though, in my room in there, I have a Joey Votto fathead from when I was like 11.
So
That's my boy.
he went to high
Dude,
school
a
with Joe
fathead.
Namath.
Fatheads used to be fucking legit.
I had a
Yeah.
Cano one at one point, and then when I was really young, I had a Jeter one that wouldn't fit on my wall in our apartment, so like half his head went on the ceiling.
Well,
Dude,
while we're
stop.
talking about it, like your team's fucked. Like,
I guess.
how do you lose that game? Aaron Judge is the highest strikeout rate in postseason history.
It's kind of insane. It's really worrisome.
He loves
actually.
a good strikeout, dude.
Dude, Rodon, like the first 2 innings, like looked amazing, and he was so hyped up. And then in the 4th inning, he was just like,
Whoopsie.
like single after single after single after single.
I mean, if you guys can't beat the Kansas City Royals in the ALDS, oh my goodness.
I mean, dude, what did the Yankees finish 5 games better than them?
Okay, and your payroll is like 17 times what their payroll is.
Yeah, and guess what? The Yankees pay the wrong guys.
Sounds like an organizational problem.
Yeah,
Yeah,
too much money in places where it doesn't need to be.
all the right friends in all the wrong places.
Because like their average players are just as good as like the Royals, like role players. You know what I mean? Honestly, they hit better.
I don't know. Your team infuriates me because you guys should kick every team's
Yeah.
ass.
Oh, they piss me off.
I'm a Red Sox fan to the core, and I watch the Yankees, and I'm like, this lineup 1 through 9, these starting pitchers, your bullpen's kind of bad, but like, you guys should be 3-0 or 3-1 in this series, no problem.
Well, Mets are about to be up 5-0.
I didn't know we were talking about the Mets.
Oh, I just watched it happen. Base hit.
He gets distracted. You got to know this.
Is Juan Soto going to hit a home run because we're on the podcast right now? Is that how this works?
Yeah. I don't know. I think they love going 5
comes
games
in for the Mets.
Series. When they played the Guardians a few years ago, who they were like way better than, they went to 5 games. But it wasn't like a sweat 5 games. It was just like the Yankees had their games that they won, and the ones they won were handedly, and the ones that they lost were like your typical like Yankees can't hit nights. But if you have
like Garrett Cole didn't even look good.
No, he didn't.
Garrett Cole looked kind of bad.
He did just as good as Rodon.
Does he
So
ever
you're paying
look
two
good?
pitchers You're paying 2 pitchers $500 million that can't give up less than 3 runs to the Kansas City Royals.
I mean, the Kansas City Royals had one of the best run differentials in baseball. They can obviously hit.
Name me 2 good hitters on the team. Bobby Witt,
And
Salvador Perez.
and what Pascal Vino or whatever?
Are you shitting me?
Dude, he had 97 RBIs and he was hurt for a month.
Pasquantino. Like, come on, Antonio. Do you hear
Okay,
yourself?
is he better? Tell me he's not better than 6 hitters in the Yankees lineup.
He's not.
So excluding Judge and Soto, you're telling me
Stanton,
he isn't better
Chisholm,
than,
are those not good hitters?
I mean, this dude bat like 270 this year with 97 RBIs, 19 home runs, and he missed a month of baseball. That's really productive.
Okay,
That's really good.
let's make excuses for our ace and number 2 pitcher. That's fine. Like,
oh no, I'm not saying that, but I mean, Garrett Cole's had shit starts in the playoffs before. He's also had great starts in the playoffs for the Yankees. So I don't know. I'm not going to worry about Garrett Cole pitching bad in a game that we won. Also, he is like the biggest creature of habit, and he did have 9 days between his last start.
we're moving on from this because that just made me mad. So
if
the weather's not perfect, if the mound's not exactly 60 feet and 6 inches away, if he doesn't have the wind blowing 7 miles southwest,
if we want to make the scale, if we want to like broaden the scale here, aren't like wild card teams that played in a 3-game series, like when we expanded the playoffs, they're coming in and beating these teams that won 100 games because they still had their reps instead of waiting for a week.
All right, Mr. Analytics.
No, I'm not a fucking stat nerd. Are you kidding me?
I love when Sal goes, okay, how is your team going to be this good? And then Antonio will say like some stat, and he's like, okay, stat guy. Like he gives you an answer, and you're just like, ooh, Mr. Stat guy over here.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I agree with your point in theory. Yes, at the same time,
I want Garrett Cole to pitch better. You know,
correct. The differential talent should be there. I don't care about 9 days. I don't. I don't. Like he should be the best pitcher in the league the way he's paid and the way he's played before, and he's not. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Let's go back to the NFL channel.
I don't disagree. If he has another shit start, then I'm like totally with you.
How many shit starts in the playoffs does he need?
What did he give up? 3 runs in 4 innings? They took him out?
He gave up like 8 hits. I understand it was only 3 or 4 runs, but like he was getting tattooed. Every inning he had runners on base.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Did we get it all out of our system? Are we all out of our system?
I saw him do it in the regular season too.
Nope, guess not.
That's just Garrett Cole in 2024.
Are you paying? You're paying Garrett Cole $40 million a year to pitch well in the regular season. That's what the goal is here.
No, I'm saying he didn't have great starts in the regular season either.
Oh, I thought you meant like he pitched well in the regular season.
He did towards the end, but I mean, I don't know. He banged up, so I don't know. The pitchers are weird when they have injuries.
All right, well, we can go to the NFL. I'm tired of this.
Okay,
let's just go to this week. We're past.
Yeah, that's where I'm trying to go.
Yo, do you guys want to talk about the Giants game last week?
All right, so week 6.
What if I just hung up and never talked to you guys again?
I might.
All right, this week in the NFL, we start off a Thursday night. San Francisco 49ers head to Seattle to take on the Seahawks. 49ers are minus 3.5 on the road, over under 47.5. How many games are the 49ers going to lose before they're not a favorite somewhere?
Probably 1 or 2 more.
Like, they're not a 3.5 point favorite on the road right now.
Especially in Seattle in prime time. But God, like I hate lines like this because it's like it's such an overreaction to give San Fran this bit of a favorite, but at the same time, then it's like they're probably this bit of a favorite because they're going to win the game. So do I want to take them minus 3.5? I don't know. What do you think, Antonio?
I don't know. I'm having a hard time with this. When you were talking, I bounced back between Seattle and San Francisco a few times because it is an overreaction to them losing to the Giants, and I don't know. San Francisco's been kind of weird.
The early line was San Fran by 5. Do they just not think Seattle's good?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is I haven't seen San Francisco hasn't blown me away this year, and Seattle's definitely a really they're competitive football team. I know they just lost to the Giants, but they played 3 other games that were really good. So I don't know.
I might just.
Seattle's really good at home in prime time. That's why I just feel like I should take them.
I think I'm leaning that way too. But then San Francisco wins by a touchdown, and you're like, oh, this is just how it is. But I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with Seattle.
Is San Fran's defense even that good? I feel like every week they're just giving up 20, 30-yard plays left and right, and
I don't know. They had 16 fantasy points for me last week though.
Because they had a return touchdown at one point.
They had a block too.
This would be a really bad loss in the division too. For San Fran.
Looks good.
And is San Fran a 2-4 team?
Probably not, but the NFL this year is backwards, so maybe they are. I don't know.
I mean, I really
this is the hardest game I've ever seen. Actually,
the spread is just so weird. I think I'm just gonna take Seattle plus 3.5. I feel like you can't. This team is not a 3.5 point favorite on the road, judging by what I've seen so far this year. So that's just what I'm gonna stick with. All right, have we all made our picks?
Made a pick. I know. Antonio, make a pick for me, please.
I said Seattle.
You're both going
for
Seattle?
you.
All right, I'll take Seattle.
All right.
I feel like we agree on Thursday night every week.
Yeah, but
all right. Jacksonville Jaguars head to Chicago. Chicago's minus 1.5 at home, over under 44.5.
London. I mean, the Jags are. Yeah, the Jags are
London's team.
Yeah, but.
Yeah, but picking the Jags.
Are we backing on the Bears?
I also never picked the Bears, so.
Is everyone on the Bears train again? Seems like it.
I'm not picking the Bears in this game.
I mean, these are two very bad teams. I just think
the Bears are not a bad team. Come on.
Okay, they're a mid team. Is that what you want me to say?
Yeah, they're on the bad side of mid.
They're not bad, but they're not mid. So they're in between.
I'm not dying on the Bears hill this week, but they're better than you guys think.
Oh my God, they play 2 decent games, and now Sal's back, totally back. Next week, if they win this game, you're gonna be like, they're going to the Super Bowl next week.
I feel like they don't.
Maybe next week. Yeah, maybe next.
If they win this game, I fully expect you to come on the podcast and be like, they're going to the Super Bowl.
Ugh. Caleb, I'm not gonna lie. Caleb Williams in London sounds awful though.
The Jaguars anywhere sounds awful though too.
They should have lost last week. They 100% should have lost last week.
I agree.
So you're taking Jacksonville, Antonio?
Yeah.
I'm also taking Jacksonville.
I'm taking the Bears.
Okay. All right. Starting out hot at 1:00 on Sunday, we got the Washington Commanders heading to Baltimore. Baltimore's minus 6.5 at home, over under 52.5. Interesting. How are people betting on this game?
The highest total of the season, gentlemen, 52.5.
Wow.
With a lot of the money on Washington.
Dude, I didn't even know these teams were playing each other this week. Remember what I said a half hour ago?
Yeah.
So the 4-1 Commanders are 6.5 point underdogs, bro. Have they been this? I mean, other than maybe the first game of the year, have they been this much of a dog yet?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know. What do you
I mean,
think, so?
this is a game for sure that the publish shouldn't be all over Washington because of that big spread.
Yeah, the
So
Ravens might kill this team.
66% of the money is on Washington.
So what is it?
And 71% of the bets are on Washington.
So here's the thing. I
Is
feel
it
like
Ravens murder or is it?
well,
Or is it what I want?
It should be a Ravens murder, but then a lot of these games the Ravens are a big favorite in, they end up like being up by 14, 17
Let's go
points.
Washington.
Hold on. They end up being up 14, 17 points, and then the team just backdoors them. So if Baltimore's going to cover the spread, they got to be up like 24 at some point. So do you think that they can get up 3 or more touchdowns on this team? Probably not. This week, I hate this week so far.
The Ravens have had like the toughest schedule I've ever seen so far.
I don't want to go with the public on this game because it's going to look really dumb when Baltimore wins like 38.
I was going to say I think I'm going to take the Ravens.
I think this line just makes you have to take I have to take the Ravens here. The line is way too telling at this point.
But maybe people, I don't know. Yeah, I guess just give me the Ravens. I don't love it.
But you're right, though. They do have that tendency to just like, they'll be like up in like the fourth quarter, and then like the other team will come back and like backdoor cover.
Then you turn on, then it goes back to red zone, and they're like, oh, Washington just scored 14 points. And
like, oh, Lamar fumbled, scoop and score.
Yep, literally.
Yeah, against my better judgment, I'll take Baltimore. But they've had a tough schedule so far. They start out with the Chiefs, then they play the Raiders, which I guess was like an easy one, but they lose it, and then they play. Do they play the Cowboys or the Bills after? They play the Cowboys and the Bills back like 2 games in a row. Then they play the Bengals, and then now they're playing Washington, who's 4-1. Like that's a crazy schedule to start with.
I wonder when our last year bias goes away. When do you think that kicks in? Like when we're like, no. Like if San Fran's like,
I don't know, probably like week 10 or 11.
If San Fran's like 2-5 in a couple of weeks, are we gonna be like, well, they're still a good team? Like,
you
know what I'm saying?
I don't think it's gone away yet because I still think the Bengals can win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, me too.
So I'll let you know when that subsides. They're gonna be like 1-7, and I'll be like, all right, fine.
I was gonna say honestly, probably goes away like week 8-ish.
All right, halfway through.
Yeah.
During the midterms, it goes away.
Yeah, once my test results come back. Wow, and then the Ravens play the Bucks next week in prime time. Like, damn.
I like that game. That's a fun game.
They've had a fucking serious schedule. If they come out of that going like 5-2, that's nuts. All right. It is nuts. Speaking of the Bucks, Tampa Bay heads to New Orleans. Tampa Bay is -3.5, over under 41.5. 3.5 on the road.
I love the Saints here.
I
pick against Tampa Bay every week, but I love the Saints here.
I think that's a tough line, bro. 3.5 on the road in New Orleans. I
can easily see this being Tampa Bay by a field goal, and if not, I can see the Saints winning. So I'm taking New Orleans here.
I think this is the smart home dog to take because Tampa Bay they've looked good, but they haven't looked like tremendous.
Yeah, the last couple of weeks they've dipped in quality a little bit.
It's kind of the same thing with like San Fran. It's like anyone that goes into a game that's like more than 3.5 or 3.5 or more road favorite, I'm like, I don't know, dude, because of just how the NFL has been.
Wow,
so I think New Orleans should cover this. But they're bad though. It's like
Tampa Bay always struggles against New Orleans though.
I hate how like unconfident I am this week. That means I'm gonna go like 0 and fucking I'm gonna go 0 and like 12 on our picks, but
Yeah.
Is
Believe it or not,
God.
I'm probably picking the Saints this week, even though the Bucks are like sneakily like a team that I take every week, but you guys just don't notice because it's not the Packers and the Broncos. But
no, we know you take the Saints every
yeah,
week.
what do you mean? I take the Bucks every week.
I mean, the Saints you take every week too, but they're playing each other, so you have to go against.
I
one
don't
of
know.
them.
I'd have to disagree. I don't. Tampa Bay always
Maybe that was more
seem to
early on.
struggle
I
when they
think
play the Saints.
I think
Yeah,
early on
no,
in the podcast you would
years
take the
ago.
Saints.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, dude. I
because
love
you love
Drew Brees.
Drew Brees. Yeah. Um.
But yeah, no, I like the Saints here.
All right, so we're all on the Saints then.
All right, so that's wrong.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's definitely wrong.
All right, Cleveland Browns head to Philadelphia. Philadelphia's coming off a bye at minus 8.5 at home. Over under 43.5.
Did they get fucked over with the early bye? Like when you have a week.
Definitely.
4.
Well, I mean, because
Yeah,
AJ
when
Brown
you
and
have a week
Devontae were
4
hurt, I think
bye, like
5. Yeah.
5. That's the earliest week it is, right?
Yeah.
I don't know though because
That's
like
horrible.
Devontae and AJ Brown were both hurt, so it might have ended up working out for them.
Yeah, it's true.
No, real talk. Like, I'm probably taking the Eagles, but I could still see the Browns winning this game for no fucking reason.
That's the last
Are
season
they gonna
bias.
start Jameis or what?
They start Jameis, they have a way better chance of winning, but they're not going to because they paid the fondler like $700 million a game to play for them. Like,
yeah, they have to play. They have to keep playing Deshaun. There's no way they can bench him.
No person in their right mind should take the Browns. So I'm going to take the Eagles, but normally I would take the Browns. So that means the Browns are covering. So Eagles, but it's the Browns.
Because I feel like the Eagles are also not good enough to cover this spread.
No, I mean,
Oh,
you're right.
I'm gonna take Cleveland here.
Cowboys
I think
killed
this
this
is too
team.
many. This is like one too many. If it was like 7.5, I think I'd be taking the Eagles. But like
Yeah,
because it's
8.5,
8.5, I'm like, no way, bro. Like, what is the money at?
I'm gonna take the Eagles, but not like a blowout. Like it's a gross like cover. Like they win like 20-7 or some shit.
It's probably a backdoor cover, if anything. But the Eagles are kind of like the Ravens with that, where they kind of like let teams play close. So yeah,
If I see James, I'm probably hammering Cleveland live. To be
Yeah,
honest,
if Jameis starts, that'd be sick. But
And
I
then
don't
you
think he
hammer
will.
Amari Cooper over yards.
Over receptions, whatever his receptions are, hammer the over. All right, we all made a pick, right? The Indianapolis Colts head to Nashville to take on the Titans. Indianapolis is minus 1.5 on the road, over under 43.5. How do we feel about this game?
Ew.
What happened with Anthony Richardson? Is he is he good or no?
He was questionable last week, or I don't know. He was like maybe gonna play last week and then didn't. So I would assume more likely than not he's playing this week.
Let me take a look. Oh my god, no! I had to open it up.
I'm
And
not
see
picking
all
the
the
Titans. I
have.
might not pick
I was
the
just gonna
Titans
say,
in
I
any
don't
game
know.
all year.
I don't know how you take Will Levis. I don't. But also at the same time, I don't know if Will Levis is the starter. Is he? Or does nobody know the answer to that?
I have no idea.
He's questionable. Oh, he sprained his AC. Oh my God, Mason Rudolph is the backup. No, thank you. I forgot about that.
I'll take the Colts. Colts all the way, baby.
Titans, baby. If Mason Rudolph's starting that game, no.
Mason Rudolph is horrible. Horrible. One of the worst quarterbacks that's ever dated an NFL field.
Okay, so I guess they don't know if Richardson's coming back.
I don't know. Either way, I like the Colts.
could
Who,
be ready.
Ant-Yo?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Colts regardless, even if it's Joe Flacco. If you're telling me it's Joe Flacco versus Mason Rudolph, I'll take Joe Flacco. And that's crazy to say, but yeah, no Mason Rudolph for me.
Gas,
right.
Jam.
Houston Texans head to New England to take on the Patriots, the Drake May-led Patriots.
Lock of the week, New England Patriots. Sorry.
Oh yeah, Drake's playing.
Houston's -7 on the road, over under 38.5.
He's keeping this game close. I don't know that they win, but the 7 is free. They're covering the 7. The offense is going to look the best it's looked in 2 or 3 years, and Nico Collins might not play in this game. So if he doesn't, they really got to guard Diggs and hope that Tank Dell doesn't score a long one on you. I think this is a lower scoring, like 17-13, 17-14 type of game. They're going to be in it at the end. Give me the Patriots plus 7.
Okay, so here's the problem, right? Is if Drake May comes in and like say they look good and then say they somehow win, like obviously not saying that's gonna happen. It sucks because they're gonna want him to start every single game after that. They're gonna be like, "Oh, he's arrived."
Yeah, that's the plan moving forward. If he's starting this game, he's starting the rest of the year. It's not like they're just gonna pull him after 1 week. So he's in for the long haul. So
I feel like though if it doesn't go well, they definitely won't start him.
I disagree. Once he's in, he's in.
I don't think so. I don't think you do that.
What do you mean? Like, so what? He's gonna play a bad game, then you're gonna pull him next week? That makes no sense.
Okay, listen. If we're gonna be in tank mode again, and we can get the number 1 pick, which I think right now the Patriots have the number 1 pick. If they do that, I don't want Drake May playing a bunch.
What? Okay, so
I never wanted him playing a bunch at all.
I don't know. Mayo.
I feel similar.
Like, Mayo. I mean, like, I don't mind if he sits the whole season. Mayo feels like the team needs a spark though, and that he's losing the locker room. So I don't know. Maybe he feels like he might get fired if he doesn't.
Okay, they're not gonna fire him though.
They might.
As a first year head coach, if you go 1-15 or 2-14 or 2-15, whatever, then maybe like you don't know that.
I don't think there's any scenario where he gets fired if he does bad. Because it's like
so he could lose every game the rest of the season and not get fired.
Yes, 100%, 1,000%. If he doesn't start Drake May, keeps him out, and then they end up getting a top 3 pick again, then you can go in next year fully ready to go. This offensive line is not good enough where I feel comfortable with Drake May being in there and not getting a torn ACL immediately. It's like I don't want that. I want to build up the offensive line first.
It's a game of football. He's going to get hit. It's never going to be the perfect situation. Get him out there. I mean,
no, but when we have a bottom tier O-line, is not the right time.
I hear what you're saying, but at the same time, like, whatever. If this is when they feel like they should make the move, then let's see it.
Why did Joe Burrow get hurt his first year?
Yeah, I know they had the shittiest offensive line in the league. I get it, Nolan. I'm not disagreeing with you. At the same time,
and then they built up their offensive line. They built up their offensive line, and then what happened? They went to the Super Bowl.
So let's see what happens.
Is that not the formula?
Okay.
You have the offensive guys. You have the young offensive weapons. This is a young team. They're not ready yet. So it doesn't matter what the fuck their record is this year. I'm sick of people like being so harp on that. It doesn't matter. They're not making the playoffs. They're not doing anything. If they go out and go 1-15, fine. Who gives a shit? That means we have a top 10, top 3 pick again, possibly the number 1 pick.
Gives a shit. That's what I'm saying. That's my point.
I know, but I don't think it's Gerard Mayo worrying about getting fired. I don't think he's worried about getting fired at all.
He could be, Nolan. That's maybe why he's making.
He would never be fired. He would never be fired.
I don't know, dude.
He would never be fired.
You're telling me a 1-16 head coach. Oh, you're telling me a 1-16 head coach should not get fired? It's impossible.
I was gonna
Zach
say the
Taylor,
Browns coach?
Wasn't Zach Taylor there the first year and they went like 2-14 or something? Did he get fired?
Yeah. Well, when the Browns went 0-16 recently,
yeah, there's
he didn't get fired.
cases either way, Nolan. There's examples of that happening and not happening. You're not in Gerard Mayo's position. That's my point.
But I think the way he was brought in, they never expected him to do anything this year, is what I'm saying. So there is no scenario where he gets fired.
And then the season happens. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. Like,
I just don't think so.
So now that they're 1-4 and their offense looked putrid on Sunday again for the fourth time in 5 games, he probably thinks he needs to do something like this. That's what's going on.
That's fine, do it. But I don't think if you put him in there, you just start him automatically every single game. I don't think that's the case.
So you're going to kill his confidence after 1 game. You're going to put him in, he's going to look bad.
I'm gonna protect him from this shitty offensive line where if he comes in, we're not doing anything anyway.
So there's no pulling him. It's either he's out the whole season or you put him in and he's in. Those are your 2 options. You don't pull him. You don't put him in and then pull him. That's not how this works. That's not how it works.
Why though?
Because then he's shot after that, Nolan.
He's done. If he goes in and tears an ACL, he's shot after that also.
Okay, so again, me and you agree. He probably shouldn't be playing yet, but that's the decision. So we're in this world where that's the decision that's being made this week.
Okay, but
I can't control that. You can't control that.
No. Where we're disagreeing is you think he has to play every single game after this if he plays.
I do.
And I do not. I don't think he does because I don't think it matters what the record is at the end of the year. Gerard Mayo's not getting fired, and they're not going to be good. Regardless of what happens this year, nothing is going to help this team to get them to any point where they're a winning team. So why go out and do all this crazy shit this year when you know this year isn't the year? Why? Get a top 3 pick. Get a top 3 pick.
Why is he playing Drake May this week?
Because he's dumb. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it is what I'm saying. It does not matter what the locker room thinks. It does not matter what this team does this year. It never did. They're a young team. They're going to be fine for years to come, and it's only going to build. What does it matter? Why go out and throw all your cards on the table right now? It doesn't matter. You only want to see what he can do, and if that's the case and they start him and they just see what he can do against an NFL team, fine. That doesn't mean you have to start him for the next 12 games. I don't think that that's the case.
I think so, but we'll agree to disagree.
All right. I'm okay with that.
Saying all that, you're taking the Patriots.
Yeah, I already said that in the beginning.
Yeah.
Just because I don't think Houston's going to be able to score against that defense if Nico Collins is out and Joe Mixon.
Bad, so.
Do you really?
No.
Oh no, I didn't know if you I didn't know if you thought they were like a little overhyped right now.
Yeah, I don't know. They might be. I think they're really good.
Yeah.
But they're just another one of those it's like weird teams.
Yeah.
All right.
I remember the old NFL when we knew who was good and who was bad.
Yeah, we sit here and complain, but it's the NFL was kind of boring when that was going on.
That's also true.
It wasn't boring for us.
Quarterbacks at that time.
Yeah, it wasn't boring for us because we were Patriots fans, but to the rest of the league, it was probably really fucking boring.
What's so funny? What are you smirking about over there?
Fucking Dakota's an idiot. I was reading texts.
All right. Next game. The Arizona Cardinals head to Green Bay. Green Bay is -5.5 at home, over under 49.5. Take the Cardinals, Sal. Take the Cardinals and tell me why.
No reason. Just it's the Cardinals. But the thing I'm pissed about last week is I finally was like, oh, this is the week they're going to get shit on, and then they don't. They were for a little bit, and then they come back and win.
Right.
I don't know.
I think this might be a really good game, actually.
This is an over.
Yeah, it's an over. This is a fun game.
Yeah, I could see the Cardinals covering.
Yeah,
I don't know if the Cardinals can win.
I'm not going to say if they're going to win or not, but I think they can cover for sure.
Yeah. Well, also Jordan Love's going to throw all over this defense, so that's also not great if you're a Cardinals backer. So, and it's now 2 weeks coming off the injury, so he's going to keep looking better as the season goes on. So,
yeah, I think
I don't know.
definitely...
I'm giving a lot of reasons not to like the Cardinals, to be honest, but I'm taking the Cardinals.
Yeah, you're kind of talking me out of it.
Yeah,
I might switch. I'm going to switch the Packers, actually.
The Packers is probably the better pick. You know what? I'm switching too, actually. So if the Cardinals win, fine. I'm taking the Packers.
Antonio, are you
Whatever.
switching too? Is he pretending to be frozen? Yeah, come
No,
on.
I'm not switching.
Okay. I do want to take the over though. As a little side, as a
over.
little pepper on it.
Mhm.
All right, the Los Angeles Chargers coming off a bye head to Denver. The Chargers are -3 on the road in Denver, over under 35.5.
Wow.
What's with the Broncos?
Broncos might actually be a good team. I'm not joking.
What's with the road favorites this week?
Yeah,
I don't think the Chargers are 3 points better in Denver than
I don't.
in
I don't
Denver.
either.
I'm taking the Broncos here.
Do you even have to ask me?
That is kind of interesting.
I just off the bye, and maybe people aren't really buying into the whole Denver team. And
Yeah,
the Chargers are 3-1 right now. So
They're 2-2.
really,
yeah. I was
well,
gonna say.
I thought they were 3-1. All right.
I mean, does Denver really win 4 in a row?
Jesus, dude.
Genuinely.
I'm taking the Chargers. I think coming off the bye, they're going to be decent. I think Bo Nix is going to look terrible this game.
The Chargers have a good defense.
Better than usual, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is a stupid NFC West game. NFC West, AFC West. Yeah, Broncos.
All right. Now the other AFC West teams, the Pittsburgh Steelers not AFC. You know what I meant. Pittsburgh heads to Las Vegas. Pittsburgh is -3 on the road, over under 36.5.
I really want to take Pittsburgh here, but it feels like Russell Wilson's just somehow going to get in at some point, so I'm taking the Raiders, thinking that Pittsburgh loses.
You think Russell Wilson gets in?
Yeah, I think I don't know. I just don't think they're fully bought into this Justin Fields thing, to be honest.
Yo, Devontae to the Steelers.
Who cares? Ew.
That would put them over the top.
Over the top of what? 9 wins?
Get them from
of like
9
the
to
Bills
10.
and Chiefs, dude.
You smoke meth for a living.
That would have been a shock collar right there. That would have been one of the times I buzzed it.
Bro. You don't actually mean that. Like if Devontae Adams went there, they would win. They would go to the Super Bowl.
If Russell Wilson was in,
such a little troll.
Wow,
if Russell Wilson was in.
Maybe if it was 7 years ago, then they would go to the Super Bowl.
Nah.
But
Russell Wilson had DK Metcalf.
But they covered this game.
No, I like the Raiders here.
DK Metcalf.
I like the Raiders here too. I think the Steelers are bad. All right. The Atlanta Falcons head to Carolina, take on the Panthers. Atlanta's -6.5, over under 47.5.
Atlanta and be done with it. This game is awful.
80% of the money, 82% is on Atlanta. So Sal's picking the Panthers.
Everyone loves Atlanta this week because of that Thursday night game now.
So yeah, if we're saying the reverse,
he
reversed the curse. So this is not a primetime game. So his Kirk look bad?
But it's normally 1 p.m. Kirk.
I hope so, dude.
How is 4:25 Kirk? Fine.
I don't know. Have we seen it yet? I thought it would show me the.
No, I don't think we. I think he's been either 1 or primetime. So I think this is the first 4:25.
They haven't been in primetime twice?
Yeah, week 2. I want to say they were primetime also. No, week 1. No, whatever week they played the Chiefs. Week 3, week 2 or 3, they played the Chiefs in primetime. And he looked pretty good in that game.
The first week was they played at 1 o'clock against the Steelers and lost.
Yeah.
And then they played the primetime game when they beat the Eagles.
Oh, they were in primetime game. They were in primetime for that too. Then they looked decent against the Chiefs. They didn't beat the Chiefs, but they easily could have beat the Chiefs. And then they played primetime last week and they looked really good. And then week 4, they lost to who'd they lose to at home? And not primetime.
So they beat the Saints at 1:00 in a close
When
one.
was that? When was
that? Week 4. That was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So who are their Steelers
Steelers and Chiefs.
1, Chiefs week 3. Okay.
And
that
the
makes more
only
sense.
they lost to the Steelers at 1:00. So he's 1-1.
And they barely beat the Saints at 1:00 that week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking Carolina. That's my pick.
That always just to like come up with a reason why you could take Carolina. It's still Andy Dalton, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is such a hard.
Bryce Young will never see an NFL field again.
He's gonna be a backup for the rest of time.
He's depressed. I saw his last interview and he just looked so miserable.
I mean, yeah, he was dealt a bad hand.
Yeah.
He was never going to be good, dude.
Kind of like trying to put Drake May in with a shitty offensive line and a shitty team.
He looked really good. He looked really good at Alabama. You can't say that.
Oh, nice, dude. Like Alabama and you're 5'8". I'm not impressed.
I do remember saying that when he came in. I was like, he's way too small.
I thought they were going to be good. At least the first year. This year, I don't think I did. But last year, I definitely thought they were going to be good.
Yeah, with Matt Rule.
Matt Ryan.
Wow, you should coach a team.
It's Matt Ryan versus Andy Dalton this game.
Dude, Frank Reich with Matt Ryan was a lethal combination.
All right, I'm taking Atlanta. Carolina's fucking terrible.
Dude, Colts Matt Ryan.
Let's move on to this good game that we have. A rematch of last year's debacle. The Detroit Lions head to the Dallas Cowboys. Detroit's -3 on the road. It's fucking crazy. Everything's a road favorite this week.
You're taking the Lions for sure, Mr. Nolan.
Of course I'm taking the Lions.
Antonio's taking... You're taking the Cowboys, really?
I'm thinking about it. But probably not.
It almost
feels like the right pick, though.
No, it almost feels way too easy to say Lions -3. I'm not going to lie. Just it's like, obviously, they should kick this team's ass.
Dude, honestly, I think I'm going to pick Dallas in this game.
What's the money? Can you do the little menu, the little drop down?
90% of the money.
Yeah, Dallas. Yeah, Dallas.
Because also, like, Detroit hasn't looked as dominant this year. They're still really
weird
good.
thing. So sometimes I notice shit like this. Like, so they're +3, but their money line's +140. Like, if you go back up to the Denver game, what's their plus? Yeah, +134. So I could see Dallas covering and not winning. I know it's only 8 cents, but I feel like discrepancies like that are normally telling. So I'll take +3. If I was betting this game, I would definitely take +3 and not Cowboys money line. Just throwing that out there. But yeah, Cowboys +3.
Okay. All right, the Cincinnati Bengals go to New York, take on the Giants. Cincinnati is again a road favorite, -3.5, over under 48.5.
See, now Sal's gonna start getting stressed for Giants games because we don't know what the fuck they are.
The Giants might not be a bad team, buddy. Like, honestly, I don't think you guys are terrible.
I mean, what I said to Nolan before the year was, yeah, they're not good, but they're not a doormat. And I think it was dumb to think that they're going to be a doormat. Because
I feel like Daniel Jones is your quarterback for the foreseeable future, to be honest.
For the rest of this year.
I think past this year.
No, dude, I don't think Dable's going to want to keep him.
I don't think he's horrible.
No, he's not horrible, but
he's pretty bad.
It's like he's pretty bad, and it's like he'll play good.
Let's not get crazy. They won one game, and we're like, he's still bad.
No. I'm not saying it like that, but I also don't know that you guys have like a surefire like upgrade in the works, like someone that's just gonna like. Obviously, I'm not saying in the system, but like, I don't think you guys are just gonna like go out and get a quarterback. Like there has to be a better alternative than Daniel
See what the
Jones. Or
market's like, or unless they want to like trade and drafts for someone, who the hell knows?
yeah, I am taking the Bengals here solely on the fact that I need to have copium for them to somehow make the Super Bowl still. So
Yeah, I'm taking the Bengals. This is just not a game the Giants
Yeah,
win.
if
I'm
they
also taking
lose
the
this
Bengals.
game, it's over, bro.
Oh
Pack it
yeah.
up. You had a good season.
It almost sucks that like I'm kind of pissed that the Giants are playing the Bengals now because they're playing the Bengals in a week where they were never going to lose when they're 1-4, and the Giants have a little momentum now. They've played
I'm
pretty
using
well in the last 3 games, so now of course they have to get the Bengals when the Bengals need it.
I'm
Like they
using the
need
Nolan
it.
game plan and picking against the team that I want, so I'm actually switching and I'm going Giants.
How's that the Nolan game plan?
I feel like you do that sometimes with the Patriots, where you're like, "Oh, I want them to win," and then you take the other team. I feel like you used to do that.
Well, no, I'm just not. I'm not a big believer of. I'll do it on the podcast, but I'm never a big believer of putting
This is the
money
Sunday
on
night
your
game?
team.
Mm.
Yeah, this is the Sunday night game. Unfortunately, I think this might be.
I have no idea what my pick 3 is going to be.
Because this is in the Sunday night slot. I really think this is just going to be a Cincinnati stomping.
Oh, of course.
Possibly.
This is like their on to Cincinnati game. This is their on to the Giants game. All right. Monday night, the Buffalo Bills head to the Meadowlands. Wow, the Meadowlands gets 2 games back to back. The New York Jets. Buffalo is -2.5 on the road. Over under 40.
The NFL
and a half.
loves doing that once a year, like a Sunday, Monday at MetLife.
Well, they just love MetLife.
The New York Jets are freer than the freest thing that has ever existed this week. I might play Aaron Rodgers in fantasy in every league. I might pick him up off every waiver wire and start him.
I've been playing him in the last couple of weeks and don't do it.
This is the week to play him. It's like 303. He's passing all over this team.
I don't know. I might have him sell. I don't know if I dropped him or not.
I don't know, man.
I'll trade you Patrick Mahomes for him.
Yeah.
But then you have to trade.
You trade me a player from your 8-man team league for a player from my 12-man.
I have to stick with
duplicates.
I have to stick with my guns here and be like, firing Robert Saleh did nothing for them. They're still the same. Aaron Rodgers looks elderly. I'm gonna take the Bills.
Yeah, normally, like I somewhat agree with Sal with the whole head coach firing thing, but same old Jets, dude. They're not winning this game. Like they have drama going on right now, so the only direction this goes is the direction that gets more embarrassing for the Jets.
That is true. That's usually what happens.
So then in that case, the Bills win 42-0.
They could.
Yeah. I'm not saying like a blowout,
this is a week where we get all bad primetime games.
Yeah, and I think Aaron Rodgers, like, not to say he has another shitty game, but I don't think he's going to look great in this game either. And then that's going to be a talking point after everybody
35-13.
Wondering
Bills.
if he got Saleh fired.
I don't know. I feel like I'm normally the Jets whisperer. When I think they're going to have a good game, they usually have a good game. And I know it's this week, so I'm taking the Jets.
Dude, I don't want to pick 3.
Your own choice.
Pick 3. You both went 1 and 2. I went 0 and 3. I think it's
Jesus.
Dude. I don't know. Did Antonio go 0 and 3 before, or am I the first one?
No, I haven't gone 0 and 3 yet. I've been 1 and 2 every single week.
I thought all week I went 0 and 3, and then I remembered I had Dallas. So I was like, thank you.
All right. So who picks the order then?
I'll go first. I'll just go first.
Okay.
Jets were obvious. I was always taking them. Patriots, obvious. I was always taking them. And then typical Sal, I don't know my third. I'll go. I took like every underdog this week. That's crazy. I just realized that. I'm only doing this to piss you guys off. I'll take the Bears.
All right, so what was it? What was your pick 3? Jets?
Bears, Jets, Pats.
All right, who goes next? You pick.
I'll go.
Okay.
I'm taking the Bengals for sure. I'm taking the Cowboys for sure.
Wow.
And what do I like for my third game?
You like the Falcons?
I thought about it. I'm gonna go Indianapolis. Colts.
Panthers just scored, I think.
Yeah.
Don't do that to me.
Yeah, they did.
Sorry, I saw it out of the corner.
Oh wow, he's got the game on his TV.
Okay, so for me,
Hold on. I said to hold on. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Sam Bennett.
Before this started, I go, what are the odds that the Panthers are leading as soon as we get off and they just score right about that?
did you? I don't remember you saying that.
Insane.
That's funny. All right, number 1. I will take Atlanta -6.5.
Atlanta.
Number 2, since I go, so my formula is if I do really bad the week before, then I have to do like crazy shit the week after to try and get back on track. So I'm taking the over in the Baltimore-Washington game.
Wow, lots of points.
And then last but not least, give me the Saints +3.5 at home.
All right.
Cookie.
All right. Let's make a lineup really quick.
Did we do bad last week again?
We won money last week. We won
Oh yeah.
I think $6 last week. So
Hell
I think
yeah.
we were actually I wonder if I could won $6 last week.
215 out of 869, not bad.
Yep. Not bad.
Not bad.
We're trending in the right direction. All right, let's see. I usually have to All right. So here we go. Who are we starting with? So let's like go based on what we did last week. So last week we were like, which game is gonna have a shit ton of points?
Well, you think it's Washington, so
Baltimore and
We also
Washington,
think that Cardinals and Packers will have a lot of points, I think, too.
yeah.
Cardinals and Packers.
I think Jordan Love is a smash for QB, to be honest.
Okay, we want Jordan Love. I was thinking Jaden Daniels. Do you want Jordan Love?
I think Jordan Love easily puts up 300 yards on that team, to be honest.
Okay, let's go with that then.
And you want to pair him with somebody support.
Dude, it's 2-0.
Jesus.
Shut up, dude. All right.
He's like, hurry up. I don't know, like Jaden Reed or Wicks, or I don't know who everyone likes for Green Bay receivers.
Reed.
Yeah, I'm cool with Jaden
I
Reed.
mean, Jaden Reed. Yeah, he's always a good bet. He gets a lot of rushing touches too.
Yeah.
Is he Debo?
He is kind of. He's like a smaller, faster version of Debo.
I mean, Derrick
You mean
Henry scores every
better version?
Derrick Henry scores every week. I don't know how you don't take him.
I mean, we could. We're gonna be in trouble down the road, I think, though.
Max Shock, dude. Like,
He's a cement truck, yeah. I'm just looking. Yeah, we could just let's throw Derrick Henry in there, see if we could build around it. Where should we go now? Oh, Sal, I can't hear you.
James Conner, do you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear
Hello?
you. You want James Conner
Is he
every week.
is he like a weekly stay?
Yeah, he has
is.
to be in the lineup every week.
Okay. That's still a lot, though. So we're going to have to scrape the bottom of the barrel here. We have to go like...
Ray McLeod's kind of sneaky.
Yeah, or we could go Rashad Bateman, too.
We think there's going to be a lot of points. I like that.
Let's go tight end, see who we can get.
Probably want to go cheaper. Porta probably for that price I don't hate, but it might be a little bit too much.
Yo, where's Tuck?
Yeah, we do have Tucker Craft.
Like that.
What we got left?
Flex a wide receiver defense.
Go defense, and we got to see what we have left. What's like we got to like cheap defense.
I mean, New England's kind of cheap.
You said that Houston would have a problem moving the ball, so I don't hate New England.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely will. Especially if Nico Collins is out, because they're going to put probably Gonzalez on Diggs. And he'll have 0 catches.
I like it.
All right, we got 12,000. I don't hate Scary Terry. Oh, is it because you're covering your microphone? I think you're covering your microphone with your hand. That's probably why you keep cutting out.
I'm definitely not. It's nowhere near it.
So what did you say about Scary Terry?
I don't think Terry's a bad idea.
All right, Terry's fine.
Then we got 5,200 for a flex. Jesus.
Devonta Foreman?
Gus Edwards. I'm not even joking. You could easily get 2 touchdowns. You have like 50 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Wait, hold on. Where's Kareem Hunt? Oh, they're on bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is fine.
What about Jerome? Where's Jerome?
Way more expensive, brother.
Yeah, definitely.
It's probably like 6.5K, 6.2. Yeah.
I'd pay that for real life in him.
That's a crazy statement.
All right. So we have Jordan Love, Derrick Henry,
wow,
James Conner, Jaden Reed, Rashad Bateman, Terry McLaurin, Tucker Kraft, Gus Edwards, and the Patriots defense.
Cut it. Goodbye.
All right. Till
See you
next
next week. We'll pick it up.
Till next week, gentlemen.